A woman is stonewalled by a bank teller demanding she prove her own bank card belongs to her. This kind philanthropist has been waiting since 8 a.m. to make a withdrawal, but the teller is power tripping, deliberately inventing excuses about incomplete documents to delay her. Just when she thought the ordeal was over, the teller drops another bombshell. She must now prove that her own bank card belongs to her. When she asks how to provide such a ridiculous proof, the toxic teller mockingly tells her to go read the wall of regulations and figure it out herself. She desperately pleads with the teller, explaining the money is for a child's life saving surgery. She needs $600,000 but is capped at a mere $50,000, which is why she must process this limit increase. But the teller coldly dismisses her plea, citing fake regulations and claiming her own job is on the line. The pressure mounts. Back at home, she gets a critical message from the mother of the child she is helping. The doctor is urging them to schedule the life-saving surgery immediately. The next day, she goes to the police station to get a document proving her bank card is hers, desperately hoping her materials are now finally complete. Holding a stack of documents, she returns to the bank, but the teller deliberately ignores her. She pretends to be busy, wasting more of her precious time. She finally confronts the teller, pointing out the blatant delay and how another person was served instantly. The teller scoffs, comparing her to a VIP client who deposits millions of dollars a year. Pushed to her absolute limit, she demands her documents back, planning to find a different teller. But the cruel teller refuses to let her go. With an audience now watching, the toxic teller starts her performance. She brazenly gaslights the woman, blaming her for the slow progress due to missing documents. The teller then weaponizes the crowd, claiming she's holding everyone up. Manipulated by this performance, the other customers attack her, calling her a troublemaker for wasting their time. For the sake of the child's life, saving money, she endures the humiliation. But the teller lands a final savage blow, damaging the documents and coldly announcing the application failed. The teller's hypocrisy is exposed. She instantly approves the same request for the next women. The woman confronts her, asking why her simple documents worked when hers failed. The teller savagely explains that a person asking for hundreds of thousands needs far more proof than someone asking for 10,000. She is then told to step aside and wait until every single other customer has been served. Just when she hits rock bottom, a devastating message arrives. It's from the child's mother. The clock is ticking. Doctors say the child has only 3 days left for the life-saving surgery. She makes a desperate promise to deliver the life-saving funds within 2 days, no matter what. After making her wait for hours, she approaches the counter one last time. The teller then hits her with the final insane demand. She must prove that she is in fact herself. The woman is in disbelief, asking how she is supposed to prove she exists. She explodes in frustration, showing her ID and documents, which should be more than enough. The teller smirks, enjoying her power trip, and states that no proof means no money. Completely defeated, she is forced to go to the police station to get the absurd proof that she is herself. As she re-enters the bank, a photo arrives. It's the child's mother. In a sick twist of fate, she realizes the mother is the toxic teller. With ice in her veins, she looks the teller dead in the eye and cancels all withdrawal services. After being harassed, she sends a savage text to the toxic bank teller. The donation for your son is canceled. The teller instantly panics, having no idea she just bullied her child's only lifeline. Fed up, she demands her card back. But the teller flips the script, accusing her of being the one playing games. She calls out the teller's cruel game of demanding pointless documents. Cornered after being exposed, the teller refuses to return the card. Instead, she abuses her power, claiming the woman can't prove her own identity, and threatens to illegally freeze her entire account. The woman warns her that this illegal action will have severe consequences for her career. The teller ignores her and freezes the account with a wicked smile. Furious, she screams for the manager to hold this employee accountable for her crimes. The teller got scared and called security to drag her out, but she was slapped instead. The manager rushes over as the woman explains the absurd demands and the illegal freeze. The teller immediately plays innocent. She claims to the manager that every ridiculous request was just standard procedure to ensure asset security. The manager knows she's lying and reprimands her for harassing a customer. The manager issues an official warning. He then forces the humiliated teller to give a reluctant apology on the spot. But the manager tells her here is still one hurdle. To officially unfreeze the account, she must return tomorrow with the proper legal documents. She agrees to their demand one last time. The manager then gives the toxic teller a stern order. Process this tomorrow with no more tricks. She gathers an ironclad will and investment statements proving the millions are hers. Here is the twist. The toxic teller is the mother of the sick child. She calls the anonymous online donor, begging for the money. She explains her funds were maliciously frozen by the bank. She claims she is now powerless to help. Desperate, the mother invites the donor to her bank. She promises a VIP, no questions asked service to get the money out fast. She agrees. The showdown is set. Inside, she spots a wanted poster. The scammer's name is identical to her online alias, and here is $1 million bounty. At that moment, A woman wearing a mask bumped into her, and her ID card fell off. The teller checks the scammer's ID, a perfect match to her son's savior. She treats her like royalty, unaware the real donor recognizes her as the wanted criminal. The teller begins serving the scammer, convinced she's the savior. Seizing the opportunity, the protagonist secretly snaps a photo for evidence. She then walks over, demanding her promised account service, but the teller completely ignores her. Laser-focused on serving the scammer she believes is a VIP. The teller promises the scammer she will unfreeze her card for the surgery funds. The scammer is confused at first but quickly realizes she's been mistaken for a rich benefactor, so she plays along. Meanwhile, the real donor gets a text from the police. It confirms the woman is a wanted criminal and to stall her. She blocks the teller, demanding to be served first. The teller scoffs, calling her selfish. She points to the scammer, declaring this life-saving donor gets absolute priority. She then reveals this woman is the great person funding her son's surgery. She warns the teller she might be helping a fraud. The teller just laughs in her face and sarcastically asks if she is trying to claim she's the real donor. With a cold stare, she drops the final truth bomb: I am. She reveals she's the secret donor for the teller's son, but the toxic teller just laughs in her face. The teller calls her a broke imposter who couldn't possibly be the philanthropist. Unfazed, the protagonist tells the low-level clerk she has absolutely nothing to prove to her. The teller dismisses her and says she will serve her friend first. She tells the woman to wait in line like everyone else. When the protagonist stops her, she justifies her toxic behavior, claiming her friend's case is a life or death emergency involving a child's surgery. The scammer plays the victim card perfectly. She acts distressed, saying she needs the money urgently for her dying son. The crowd immediately turns against the protagonist. They call her heartless and selfish for not giving way to an emergency. But the woman in black sees through the act. She gives the teller a chilling warning that she is making a fatal mistake. Ignoring the warning, the smug teller takes the scammer to the VIP room. She'll unfreeze the account and withdraw $600K to save her son. But the scammer panics, revealing her card only has a few $1,000s. The woman gives the teller one last chance to stop. She warns her not to come crying for help later on. The teller scoffs at her. She makes a fatal promise that she would never ask this worthless woman for help in her life. Inside the VIP room, the teller hits a system error. The scammer smoothly explains her constant charity donations have maxed out her transfer limits. Sensing the scam is about to fail, the fraudster panics. She suddenly claims she has an urgent business meeting and tries to flee, but the protagonist blocks her path. She calls her out for trying to run away without withdrawing the money. As she tries to flee, the protagonist stops her. She calls her a broke fraud. The ultimate accusation has been made. The clueless teller jumps in to defend her friend. She insists the scammer is a legitimate millionaire. Cornered, the scammer fakes a laugh. She agrees to withdraw the money, trying to save face. Then the protagonist makes a savage bet directly with the teller. If the scammer withdraws $600K, she will kneel and beg for forgiveness. The teller felt confident of winning. The scammer panics and makes another excuse. She claims her card has a transfer limit and cannot withdraw a large sum. The teller immediately offers to help. She says she can process an emergency withdrawal limit increase on the spot. The woman calls out the teller's hypocrisy. She points out how she bends the rules for her friend but not for others. She then simplifies the challenge. Forget $600K, just withdraw $100K in cash, and she will admit defeat. At the private ATM, the clueless teller is full of confidence. She tells the woman to prepare to be humiliated, but the screen flashes a devastating message. Withdrawal failed. The teller's face drops in shock. The teller panics and blames the machine. She claims the ATM's card reader must be broken. The scammer immediately flips the script. She accuses the teller of breaking her only bank card and starts demanding compensation. Just then, the protagonist reveals the final trick. She tells the teller to check the scammer's bag for a second identical card. And there it is. The teller finds a second identical card, proving it was a classic bait and switch scam. The scammer claims the second card is an old deactivated one. This teller is unbelievably stupid and actually believes the lame excuse. To compensate for the broken card, the teller makes a fatal decision. She offers to process a personal loan. The scammer celebrates internally. She's finally getting paid. The protagonist warns her if the scammer defaults, she is responsible for the debt. But the teller ignores her, sealing her own financial doom. This is instant karma. This bank teller brazenly backs out of a bet she just lost. The heroine reminds her the scammer failed to withdraw the cash and now must apologize as promised. The teller smirks, claiming she hasn't lost. Once her client's loan is approved, she'll have the cash to withdraw. The manager storms in, furious after being pulled away by the teller's call. She immediately demands he process a $2 million loan for her acquaintance. The heroine tries to unfreeze her own account, but the teller prioritizes her VIP, threatening to file a complaint to get her way. The teller pressures the manager, explaining her friend runs a huge company. She argues that approving this loan will secure a massive new account for the bank. The manager follows procedure, asking the rich woman for a business license. She stammers, unable to provide any documents. The heroine points out the obvious scam. The woman has no business license and is clearly a fraud. The clueless teller fiercely defends the scammer. She claims her wealthy friend is just being low-key and doesn't need to prove anything. In a moment of pure greed, the teller makes a fatal mistake. She volunteers to personally guarantee the entire $2 million loan. The manager is shocked. He warns her about the massive risk of guaranteeing such a large sum for a stranger, but she arrogantly waves him off, completely blinded by trust. She says $2 million is just pocket change for her friend. The manager caves and agrees to her proposal. Seeing this disaster unfold, the heroine secretly calls the police, knowing she must stall for time. The manager insists on verifying her identity after the forms are submitted. The teller thinks this is too slow and decides she must act to speed up the loan. The teller gives a knowing look and illegally overrides the system. Instantly, the scammer's phone buzzes. The $2 million has arrived. The scammer tries to escape using the classic bathroom excuse, but the heroine physically blocks her path, refusing to let her leave. The idiotic teller gets angry. She yells at the heroine for bothering her VIP client, telling her to get out of the way. Just in time, the police burst through the doors, tackling the scammer and pinning her to the ground. She's caught. The cops reveal the truth. This woman is a notorious wanted fugitive. The teller's face turns pale with shock. The heroine informs the police that the fugitive just received $2 million, thanks to the teller's unauthorized loan. To shatter her disbelief, the officer presents the hard evidence: the official wanted poster with the scammer's face right on it. The teller frantically asks where the $2 million went. The scammer just laughs maniacally, revealing the money was instantly transferred and is gone forever. The police confirm the devastating news. The entire $2 million was wired to an overseas account and is completely gone. The manager explodes in pure rage. He fires the teller on the spot, screaming at her to pack her things and get out. The heroine lays out the brutal truth. The teller treated a criminal like an honored guest, and now she must pay back the millions. Suddenly, a horde of reporters swarms the bank. They rush to the heroine, asking how she managed to catch the notorious fugitive. In a savage move of ultimate payback, she praises the teller's stupidity. She claims the teller cleverly gave the loan to stall for time. But the karma isn't over. Another victim arrives, a man who has been trying to get his dead father's inheritance for days. In front of the cameras, he reveals her insane rule. She refused to release his inheritance unless his dead father came in person. Humiliated, the teller tries to justify her toxic behavior as following the rules. But nobody is buying her pathetic excuses. Cornered and exposed, the teller bursts into tears. She tries to gain sympathy by claiming she is just a poor single mother. The heroine then exposes her own ordeal. The teller not only failed to process her withdrawal increase, but also froze her card, blaming it all on incomplete documents. The heroine calmly presents her own perfectly organized documents. Her quiet competence is the final nail in the coffin for the disgraced teller. Reporters grill the power tripping banker for blocking a simple transaction. She just shamelessly claims to be following the bank's ridiculous rules. The woman demands to know the exact bank regulation. Caught in her lie, the banker freezes up. It's obvious these absurd rules are her own invention. The bank manager rushes in to do damage control. He immediately throws his toxic employee under the bus, exposing her lies to everyone. To apologize for the horrific service, he offers the woman a free upgrade to VIP status and vows to personally handle her accounts from now on. He turns to the toxic banker and fires her on the spot, telling her the bank doesn't need her. The banker's world crumbles as she desperately begs for forgiveness, but it's far too late. The manager reveals the real reason. She carelessly approved a $2 million scam, and now she must pay it all back. She breaks down crying about being a single mother with a sick child and unable to repay the debt. The manager shows zero sympathy, calling her a liability. He then promises the press he will make it right for everyone she has wronged. Total devastation. She's lost her job and is now on the hook for $2 million. Her 6 sons' future looks bleak. The woman serves a brutal reminder. She warned her about the scam, but the banker was too arrogant to listen. In a twisted turn of fate, the banker now begs the very woman she wronged for money to save her son. The banker continues her desperate apology tour, but the woman isn't buying the crocodile tears. She remains completely unmoved. The banker tries a new tactic: emotional blackmail. She asks how the woman could be so heartless as to let a sick child die. But the woman hits back with a savage reality check. She reminds the banker of her own arrogant words, vowing to never ask for help. The woman then drops a bombshell. She says she had shown compassion, but the banker herself threw it all away. The ultimate plot twist. She reveals she was the secret benefactor who paid for the son's expensive hospital stay. She even sent him clothes, supplements, and imported fruit. She had spent 3 days tirelessly raising the $600,000 needed for his surgery. The banker is stunned into silence. How could the woman she mistreated be her son's anonymous savior? The woman admits she couldn't believe the toxic teller was the same mother she was trying so hard to help. The banker is in total denial, pointing out the ID name doesn't match the donor's. She accuses the woman of lying and trying to deceive her. Fed up with the denial, the woman decides to end the argument once and for all. She makes a call directly to the banker. She answers the call and the savior's voice confirms the woman's identity. Her world shatters completely. It was true. The woman looks at her with pure disgust, telling her she regrets ever trying to help her. Ultimate payback. She officially withdraws all support for the son's surgery, leaving the banker to face her actions alone. The banker now desperately promises to find someone to process the business. The same paperwork that required days of torture can now miraculously be done in 5 minutes. Having failed at everything else, the banker resorts to her final weapon, public shaming. She kneels and starts wailing for everyone to see. She paints the woman as a heartless villain, telling the crowd that she promised to save her dying son but then cruelly backed out. But her plan completely backfires. The protagonist explains to the crowd the surgery was delayed only because the banker herself obstructed it, and reveals she had previously paid for all the son's hospital bills. The crowd's sympathy instantly vanishes, replaced by disgust. They realize she's not a victim, but the architect of her own destruction. Karma is served. This woman calls out a toxic bank teller for repeatedly blocking her card limit increase, demanding endless documents and even the absurd proof that she is herself. The crowd immediately sides with the woman, calling out the teller for her obviously absurd and malicious power trip. Panicking, the teller plays the victim, claiming she's just a low-level worker who will get fired for breaking rules. The crowd sees through her lies and walks away. She begged them to stay and help her. The woman coldly tells her this is instant karma, and she earned this public humiliation herself. Watching the woman walk away, the defeated and humiliated teller vows that she will get her ultimate payback. While discussing the donation with a friend, she stops mid-sentence. A chilling realization hits her. How did that bank teller get her top-secret private number to invite her for this donation? She realizes this was a setup. Someone with inside access intentionally leaked her information to a total stranger. She connects the dots. The toxic teller is just a pawn. She immediately asks her friend to launch an investigation and expose the true mastermind pulling the strings. Meanwhile, the true masterminds are revealed. The heroine's greedy cousin furiously berates the scammer mom for failing their mission to secure the cash. The desperate cousin asks his father, the heroine's uncle, for a plan. He reveals they are being hunted daily by ruthless loan sharks, and must force her to pay their massive debt. The uncle hatches a despicable new plan: have the scammer mom pose as a vulnerable victim to attract public attention and force his niece into paying their debts. The scammer mom hesitates, fearing her reputation will be destroyed. But the cousin masterfully manipulates her with the ultimate promise. He will marry her if she helps destroy his own cousin's reputation. The scammer mom arrives at the woman's home screaming and accusing her of being a cold-blooded murderer for all to hear. The moment a neighbor appears, the scammer mom unleashes a dramatic performance. She wails that the heroine is coldly watching her sick child die. Falling for the trap, a nosy neighbor starts banging on the door, demanding the woman face the consequences. Just as the neighbor is about to give up, thinking no one is home, the scammer mom convinces her the heroine is hiding inside, urging her to bang on the door even harder. The heroine calmly opens the door and delivers a savage clapback, telling the nosy neighbor to pay the medical bills herself if she's so compassionate. Instant karma. The neighbor's hypocrisy is exposed, and she quickly backs away, saying she has no money to give. In a final desperate act of emotional blackmail, the scammer mom sits on the ground screaming a threat. If her son dies, she will die right at the heroine's doorstep. Her screams attract more neighbors. They gang up on the heroine, accusing her of breaking a life-saving promise and toying with the child's life. The woman masterfully turns the tables on the entire crowd, suggesting they all chip in to save the child. Suddenly, no one is interested. This crowd of hypocrites refuses to pay a single cent. She calls them out directly. You want me to pay so you can feel like heroes for free. She looks the scammer dead in the eye and delivers the final blow. You will never get a cent from me. Furious, the mother plays her final card. She calls a reporter to start a media witch hunt against the woman. The next day, she is ambushed by reporters, who immediately accuse her of being a cold-blooded murderer. The scammer mom appears, screaming that the heroine murdered her son. But the heroine fires back, accusing her of slander and demanding she produce a single piece of evidence. The mother victoriously shows the media a chat log screenshot of the heroine, promising a $600,000 donation as undeniable proof. In a shocking twist, the woman admits to the reporters she sent the message. But then she drops the final bombshell. I backed out because she refused to let me save her son. A mother publicly accuses a kind donor of heartlessly revoking a $600K donation for her son's emergency surgery right before he entered the operating room. The crowd instantly turns on the wealthy woman, calling her a bully for picking on a vulnerable mother. The narrative is set, but the millionaire remains unfazed. She looks the mother dead in the eye and asks, "Are you sure I was the one who backed out?" The protagonist calmly pulls out her phone ready to play a recording. She asks the mother if she conveniently forgot what she said earlier. Just as the protagonist is about to play her own words back to her, the mother fakes a fall, deliberately knocking the phone from her hand. The protagonist accuses her of deliberately smashing the phone. But the mother immediately plays the victim. She claims exhaustion from caring for her child made the collision a complete accident. A bystander defends the scammer mother, saying, "A rich person can buy a new phone." He then taunts her to show proof, instead of making baseless accusations. An audio recording plays loudly, revealing the mother's own voice, proudly stating she would never ask the millionaire for help. An audio recording plays loudly, revealing the mother's own voice, proudly stating she would never ask the millionaire for help. Exposed, the scammer mother desperately backpedals, claiming she only said that because she didn't realize how wealthy the protagonist was. The protagonist exposes the truth. This woman was the toxic bank teller who made things difficult when she tried to donate. Now knowing her identity, she's back to beg. The crowd's loyalty shifts instantly. They realize they were manipulated by a hypocrite who only respects money and power. The protagonist then reveals video evidence of the scammer mother harassing her at home. She calmly informs her the police have been called. The scammer mother is trapped. She starts to justify herself, screaming that she was only following bank protocol. She tells the crowd that she has already lost her job and has done nothing wrong. Hearing this, a reporter jumps in, trying to corner the millionaire, painting her as a vengeful monster for not donating to the child. With savage logic, she shuts the reporter down. "It's my money, I decide who to help. I feel absolutely no guilt." She then flips the script. "Instead of pressuring me, why don't you start a fundraiser if you care so much?" The scammer mother claims fundraising is too late, then makes a fatal mistake. She screams about the protagonist's vast inheritance, accusing her of letting a child die. The millionaire realizes this was never random. This whole thing was a calculated conspiracy to target her wealth. She asks how the mother knew about her private charity work. The mother fumbles for an answer, unable to name her source. She points out a massive contradiction from the start. When she first offered the donation, why would a truly desperate mother refuse a hospital visit to verify her son's condition? Sensing the scam is about to collapse, the millionaire proposes a final epic challenge to settle things. "In 3 days we will go to the hospital and live stream the entire visit for the world to see. If her son is truly sick, she'll donate 1 million. But if it's a lie, the mother faces prison for fraud." Shockingly, the mother agrees instantly. She's not scared at all. On the day of the showdown, reporters are live streaming from the hospital. A very sick-looking child is lying in the bed. The reporters are filled with hate for the late protagonist. They call her a coward who is afraid to pay up. Amidst the insults, the protagonist appears. She shatters the dramatic scene with a single line, "Who said I backed out?" The mother declares victory and immediately demands the money. But the protagonist counters that a real diagnosis must come from a professional doctor, not just a mother's emotional pleas. A doctor quickly examines the child and confirms a critical illness. He adds that the total cost will far exceed 600K. The mother flashes a venomous smile of victory. She gloats internally, thankful she prepared in advance. The millionaire is now trapped and has no choice but to pay. She immediately demands the money, but the protagonist's friend raises an objection. She calls out the doctor for his ridiculously fast diagnosis, pointing out he didn't run a single test. After the doctor's diagnosis, reporters immediately pressure the heroine, demanding she pay for the sick child's treatment. But she flips the script instantly. She offers to send the boy to a top specialist and will cover every single penny. But the scammer mom panics, rejecting the life-saving offer. The heroine questions her logic, pointing out the specialist's hospital is far superior and shouldn't be refused. The heroine's friend steps in with a chilling warning. Deliberately refusing better medical care is considered indirect homicide. The heroine then calls nurses to help with the transfer procedures, but the scammer mom creates a chaotic scene, stopping them from helping her child. The scammer mom then drives the reporters and the heroine out of the room, refusing to let them stay inside any longer. The heiress confirms her suspicions. It's all a setup and she knows a bigger fish is pulling the strings. Moments later, the mastermind is exposed. The scammer mom is secretly colluding with the heroine's toxic cousin, and the heroine's friend witnesses it all. The scammer mom boasts about her clever scheme. She reveals she made her son fake a seizure to drive everyone out. Now all they have to do is wait for the money. Her ally rushes home, revealing the damning secret recording. The scammer mom was hired by the heroine's own uncle, and is also her cousin's secret lover. The ally reveals the entire disgusting plan. The child is truly sick, but they are using his illness to defraud the heroine of her inheritance. But she is not breaking. She vows to expose them all in front of everyone, and serve the ultimate payback. The wicked uncle asks his son if the plan is truly foolproof, and if the woman can be trusted. The scumbag son guarantees she's no threat. He brags that all it took was flashing a little cash at the bank, and she was instantly hooked. He promises to dump her the second the job is done. They dream of their new life of luxury. Once they get the inheritance, they think they'll be set for life, but their celebration is cut short. The heiress appears out of nowhere, startling them badly. The two-faced uncle immediately pretends to be concerned. He acts like a loving family member who is there to help. The heiress plays their game. She forces a formal introduction, making the schemers extremely nervous and awkward. The uncle pulls his son aside. He warns him to control the stupid woman before she ruins their entire plan. The cousin goes to reassure his pawn, dangling a fake marriage, promised to keep her under control. Meanwhile, the heroine's ally secretly follows and records it all. He then makes a promise to her, admitting the child is only slightly ill. He swears once they get the money he will immediately take her son for surgery. The ally confirms the final evidence is secured. Their trap is now perfectly set. At the press conference, all cameras are rolling. The heiress is about to make her public donation. Then she gave the con artist's mother a bank card in front of the camera. But just as she's about to receive the bank card, a shocking video of her, with the heroine's cousin, plays on the giant screen. The crowd is stunned into silence. The heiress seizes the moment. She publicly accuses her own family of plotting to steal her father's inheritance. The heiress seizes the moment. She publicly accuses her own family of plotting to steal her father's inheritance. Panicking, he screams the video is fake. A desperate last-ditch lie. A reporter asks if his feelings for the much older woman are genuine. He is totally humiliated. The heiress delivers the final blow. "I genuinely wanted to help," she says. "But you betrayed my sincerity. Save your own son now." Then the heroine breaks the donation card. The scammer completely collapses. As the media swarms her, she realizes she has lost everything in her greedy quest for payback. A desperate mother's scam is exposed live on camera. Reporters grill her about a conspiracy against a wealthy heiress. She confronts her partner about his marriage promise. He just publicly shames her, calling her a delusional old woman. Enraged, she immediately rats out the true mastermind. The heiress's greedy uncle orchestrated the entire plot. The uncle nervously laughs it off, claiming it's a family misunderstanding. He then shamelessly insists his dead brother promised him a fortune, but the heiress sees right through his lies. She asks why he needed a stranger to scam her, if the money was truly his. Caught in his web of lies, the uncle makes a ridiculous excuse. He claims the scam was just a test, fearing she wouldn't believe him after all this time. She lays the final trap with a smirk. She asks him one last time if he is absolutely certain about his claim. Then she drops the ultimate bombshell. She reveals a secret will that states all the money belongs to her, and only her. Her best friend, who is also a lawyer, steps forward. She confirms the will is legally notarized and completely untouchable. The lawyer reveals a shocking secret. Her father knew all about the uncle's toxic gambling. He only promised him money because he feared the evil man would harm his daughter. Completely defeated, the greedy uncle tries to flee the scene in shame. But the heiress isn't finished with him yet. She tells him to wait for her special guests. He has no idea what's coming. Suddenly, brutal loan sharks appear. They demand the $2 million the uncle owes in gambling debts. The desperate uncle points at his niece, telling the loan shark she has all the money. But the loan sharks aren't fools. They grab the real debtor and drag him away to settle the score. After her uncle is dragged away, the heiress confronts the mother. She reveals his illness is minor, but the mother claims she's now in debt and can't afford the surgery. The heiress reveals the mother's bank deposits and investment records. The proof shows she has enough money to pay for the surgery herself. The promised donation is cancelled and will now go to people truly in need. The mother tries to stop her, screaming that the money belongs to her. She didn't want to argue, so she had her friend drag her away from the donation site. A few days later, the now broke mother ambushes the heiress in a parking lot, begging for more money. She claims paying for her son's surgery has left her destitute. Now, with no money for food, she begs the heiress for living expenses. The heiress has had enough. She tells the woman to get a job instead of begging like a parasite. Furious, the woman blocks the heiress's car. She refuses to move unless she gets a massive payout right now. After the heiress parks, the mother snaps. She screams that the heiress destroyed her life, her son's future, and is the reason she's now buried in massive debt. The heiress reminds her that without the initial donation, her son's medical care would have ended. After a final rejection, the woman's eyes fill with hate, vowing revenge. She then pulls out a bottle of sulfuric acid. The psycho is ready to disfigure the heiress for revenge. After dodging the attack, she blocks the psycho's escape route. She immediately calls the police to report the attempted murder. At the police station, she plays the victim, blaming the heiress for her actions. The officer immediately shuts her down. She explains that trying to murder someone is never justified, no matter the excuse. The heiress rejects any reconciliation. She tells the officer this was a clear case of premeditated attempted murder, and she must press charges. She doesn't stop there. She also submits evidence of the woman's earlier fraud scheme with the greedy uncle. Facing a long prison sentence, the scammer finally breaks down. She begs the heiress to let her go, claiming she will starve. But the heiress has no pity. She coldly tells the woman that she destroyed her own life with her greed and evil. This story has come to an end. Thank you for watching.